Your news now.
And this is Saturday, September 27th, and you have indeed entered overtime where it's nearly October, and I'm nursing a bit of a suntan today, or sunburn if you will. But how fantastic is that? Which means we had optimal weather conditions to execute our mission statement for the day, bringing you the Tri-State's most extensive and enthusiastic summary of the local sports scene. In minutes, we will sate your appetite for local college football and wrap up the last vestiges of Week 6 of the high school campaign. Plus, we've got an inspired story of a cancer survivor turned softball star in Seeds of Greatness, and a communication connection for the absolute ages. You probably already guessed what it is, but we'll show it to you again anyway. But we're going to light the lamp on this tonight with the soccer pitch, where Jacksonville put its sterling 12-0 record today on the line against visiting Quincy Notre Dame. The Crimsons coming off an emotional win this week. They played 4 games, including a comeback win in overtime over SHG. 16 minutes in, Q&D would put the pressure on them. That is Cooper Reese up per 90 off the set piece, and it was absolute perfection. 1-0 Raiders at that point. Lucas Klein was peppered in goal for the Raiders, but he was unflinching in the first half. In this one, just easily cruising for this one. A little tougher play right here, but again, Lucas Klein standing on his head. Wow, just to take a breakaway right there away from Evan Long. Q&D trying to extend their lead right here. Cooper Reese to Aubrey Reese, who gets a cranium on it. But check out the nice play in goal by Austin Enns, and we'd end the first half tied at 1 apiece. Second half, the Crimsons bring in the heat. Ty Rogers, phenomenal player up front, stymied there by Klein again. Corner restart. How about Quincy Notre Dame right here? Zach Volkamp gets a head on it off the assist from Cooper Reese. It's 2-0 Q&D with the insurance. Then, this is ridiculous right here. Off the throw-in from Dylan Peters. I believe this is a back heel flick. I've looked at it about 4 different times from Cole Hayes. It goes home and gives Q&D a 3-0 lead. From there, Jacksonville seemed to be inspired. They seemed to try to bring the heat even higher, and every time they did, more goodness right here from the Raider defense. Empty net right here. Check out the header, though, as Zach Volkamp gets it out of there. Crimson's another attempt. Can't punch it home. Still 3-0. Ty Rogers frustrated today. Phenomenal player up top. Q&D just kept stymieing him. There's more of Luca right there. Beautiful stop right there. He'd save his best for last. More to come right here. Dead solid perfect. Oh, that's good. I could do a sensational 7 alone on Lucas Klein saves today, but the best comes right here off the set piece yet again. How about one more? Saving the shutout and the clean sheet. What a day for that young man. Hero of the day. And what a week for Cooper Reese, who scored 5 goals as Q&D comes back, gets another victory today, the first of the season that Jacksonville has allowed. Jacksonville, I must mention, down 2 starters today. Still, what a wonderful win for Quincy Notre Dame. 3-0 was your final there. Want to mention a couple of soccer scores as well from Northeast Missouri today, and actually start with yesterday's score, which we didn't have time to bring you. Hannibal goes 2 for 3 in the Camden tournament. They won yesterday, did the Pirates 2-1, and then today, tough match with a powerhouse Fatima program out of Westphalia. Hannibal drops that match 2-0, but bounces back and beats Parkview 3-2. Jack Bauman plays the hero in that one with a pair of goals to help his team to victory. Well, let's go to college football now. We're on the heels of a rather rough trip last weekend to Jefferson City. The Quincy University Hawks were a team simply begging for a positive springboard into the meat of their season. Enter Haskell Indian Nations, or chum to Sharkfield Waters in this one today, as Quincy University is going to absolutely feast. Start you off with Nick Lonergan, the pride of Jacksonville, hooking up right here to DJ Doherty for the nice pickup. And that, my friends, would kind of just spark the offense. Nick Lonergan, you know he can throw. Hey, back in the day in Jacksonville, phenomenal runner as well, and he's got the Jets working right here. Tuck it and go, and there goes Nick in for the score right there to make it 7-0 QU at that point. Hawks with the ball on their next possession. They're going to go back to the air. This time, Lonergan looking for Eric Pondexter, who's wide open. Big pickup for him down into the red zone, and that would set up Nick Lonergan doing Nick Lonergan type things. How about on the scramble? I tell you what, his read react, fantastic right here into the end zone. He even drops the shoulder. Your quarterback dropping the shoulder. Way to go, Nick. Good stuff from him. How about Cody Wood? Of the Wood brothers, he had the second best week. Clay with 3 touchdowns. Just had to mention that. But Cody pretty good right here in action as Nick Lonergan finds him along the sideline. Next play, a beauty. Lonergan pump fakes, hooks up with Poindexter right here in the corner again for a 24-yard touchdown. Oh, Quincy University making it look so easy today, leading 21-0 there, and we would be remiss if we didn't show you the obligatory Chris Harris power run. The pride of Sacred Heart Griffin doing work right here. Hurdling tacklers on his way to 11 yards and the touchdown. Good stuff right there. Quincy University never in doubt in this ball game. They win it by the final count of 65-0. That, my friends, is what you refer to as a bounce back. Made even sweeter today because it was homecoming. That's the good news. Here's some bad news, and there was plenty of it today. Illinois College might have lost their shot at making the postseason today. On the road at St. Norbert, a traditional tormentor, Illinois College had a 27-6 lead in this ball game at one point. In fact, going into the fourth quarter, St. Norbert scores 26 unanswered points in the fourth and wins this game. Devastating game on the road for Illinois College. Little better story for McMurray, though, a loss up in beautiful Mount Pleasant today. Coy Dorothy rallies his team, which was scoreless at the half, for 34 unanswered points in the second half. However, Iowa Wesleyan would eventually answer those points and get the victory today. Also want to mention a big win for Central Methodist, which goes to Kansas City and hands Avila its first loss of the season in that game. Mark Twain product Tyler Steinkamp, big day, over 100 yards rushing. He's made 3 starts, 2 of them. He's topped the century mark, so good for Tyler Steinkamp. No touchdown today for him. How about Culver Stockton at home today, taking on Mid-America Nazarene, one of the powers of the HAC. Jeff Duvendek's team looking to its defense to get things going, coming in with the turnover over right here. It's Mike Fitzgibbons with the interception. He returns it to the 50. However, Culver's drive, as a result of that pick, would stall. Pioneers back with the ball. More stout defense from the Wildcats here. Anthony Tuiatel right here with the sack, as it's a gang tackle at the back end of this as well. He gets some help there. A few drives later, though, it would be Mid-America Nazarene finally getting their offense on track. Josiah Green hooking up right here with Chris Fields, who comes wide open right down the center. 7-0 at that point. Now 14-0. How about Desmond Phillips, though? About to make a house call from 84 yards away. I would suggest that is in fact sensational 7 worthy. Good stuff right there. Made it to 14-7 ball game. On the ensuing kickoff, though, the Pioneers do what good teams do. They answer that charge right back in this ball game. This is a big time pickup right here, as Cameron Rogers going to take it and sashay his way all the way down to the 1-yard line, just short of pay dirt in this one. But that would allow Mid-America Nazarene to jump back in front in this one by a 21-7 score, as Ashton Johnson would finish the drive, if you want to call it a drive, one play from there, makes it 21-7. Special teams setting things up at that point. Culver defense, though, still raging away in this one. Palmyra product, Wilson Rigg, coming up with a quarterback sack right here. And then more. The Pioneers forced into a turnover as well, as it would be Culver Stockton getting the recovery to set up an Eric Zamudio field goal to cut the lead to 21-10. Unfortunately for Culver Stockton, that would be as close as it gets today. Been a tough schedule for them the last 2 weeks with Avila and Mid-America Nazarene back-to-back. They lose today to the Wildcats. Final count in this one sees them go down by a margin of 38-14, I believe, was how it ended up, or 38-13 was how it ended up today. Let's take a look as well at a score Will talked about earlier. We had a news crew over in Carbondale today. Going to bring you back some highlights for tomorrow. Southern Illinois erupts in the second half. Really good first half for Western Illinois. A couple of rushing touchdowns, and then things kind of fall apart with the passing game. Lance Lenore, a big day receiving, but Southern Illinois does what it does. I mean, really good offensive team as the Salukis get the win 34-17. Again, those highlights coming your way tomorrow night with Will Wilson at 10 o'clock. And up next, a story of a Canton softball player who's overcome an awful lot to arrive very early in her career. That's up next.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. She was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 4 and spent 2.5 years of her young life fighting back against the disease through chemotherapy. Now, it's a credit to both Olivia Jarvis and the medical care she received that just shy of a decade later, you'd never know that the Canton freshman was anything but perfectly healthy. In fact, her softball opponents would naturally assume she's a little too healthy given the incredible start she's gotten off to in her high school varsity diamond career. The only poker tell to her past health problems, an indomitable spirit.
Seeds of Greatness brought to you by Burris Hybrids.
Having cancer has taught me that I need to work hard because you never know when it could all be over. So I play every game like it's my last.
Olivia Jarvis has been front and center among 4 freshmen who have helped Canton to a scintillating 16-4 start. A chemistry dynamic that seems to have benefited all involved.
I think it's made it easier because all the upperclassmen have accepted us, and they've shown us that if we work together as a team, we can accomplish anything.
Were you nervous at all jumping up to that level?
Yeah, I was definitely nervous. Coming into this, I'd never played anything like this with other girls, and they're so talented, and I felt I have a lot to live up to.
But as her shutout of South Shelby on Thursday proved, so far, so good.
Well, my changeup's working a lot now. Me and Jensen have been working together, and I've been trying to get that down, and we've gotten that down.
For you guys, how far can you guys take this as a team? I mean, you guys are in a really nice groove right now, and I think you're a little better than everybody thought because the younger players have come on a lot more than everybody. How good can you guys ultimately be, Liv?
If we believe that we can, I think we can go all the way to state and win a state championship.
Full, delightful, and very impressive young lady. By the way, Canton 16-4 in the early season, looking very, very good. I guess we're not early season anymore, but still, what a wonderful jump out of the gate for the Canton Tigers this year. Softball today, congratulations to the Knox County Lady Eagles who win the Schuyler County tournament with a 5-0 blanking of the host school. Tougher going today, much tougher sledding in Centralia for Palmyra, who ran into a couple of buzzsaws, including outstanding Monet pitcher Abby Kruger, who had 19 strikeouts against Palmyra today. Palmyra had to settle for 4th place on the day, so still a pretty good showing. But that tournament was absolutely loaded when you take a look at all the great teams there. Let's talk a little volleyball today as well. Holy Trinity doing Holy Trinity things today, beating Mediapolis, who's ranked 6th in Class 3A. Holy Trinity, of course, in Class 1A. The Southeast Super Conference title today. It's the 2nd in a row for the Lady Crusaders. It is Mediapolis's first loss of the season. Michaela Fecky, ho-hum, 3 games, 54 kills. That's kind of just what she does. Q&D today in non-tournament action, playing St. T out of Decatur and getting a win in straight games, 25-14, 25-15. Need to mention that Riley Hummert had 15 kills, and Kendra Gengenbacher had 26 assists in that game to help Q&D improve to 17-3 on the season. Some more volleyball for you. Troy tournament today. Tough draw for Hannibal out of the gate, taking on Rockbridge and a 6'4" middle hitter. That doesn't bode well. Rockbridge traditionally very good, and they had a lot of height in this game. Pirates trying to get things going in game number 1 right here. Great heads-up play from Anna Murphy, who, wow, look at the reaction. Her shot blocked into her face. She digs it off the floor and punches it back in for the side out. Kaylin Bailey, she was pretty much the answer, I guess, in the first game today. The first girl to get the wake-up call as she kind of rallied her team, which unfortunately lost in game number 1, 25-16. Game number 2 right here, more from Kaylin Bailey, who's going to get the nice hit in right here for the kill off the wickets. And then Alyssa Rifasel coming up with a kill here as well, but Hannibal overmatched today. In fact, Hannibal lost all 4 of their matches in a loaded tournament at Troy. St. Charles West among those who defeated Hannibal as well. Good experience, though, for the Lady Pirates moving forward. Let's talk some golf today, and we had some good golf to talk about at the Galesburg Invitational. Good showings today from Quincy Notre Dame, who finished 2nd, and a Quincy High School team which started the season a little rough, but seems to be playing better and better each week. Quincy High School with a 4th place finish today. Individually, some great showings from the Gem City. In fact, number 1, Drew Eaton, 2 under par 69 today to take solo medalist honors. Colby Rodemick from Quincy High School, a 1 under par 70. He was in a group that finished in 2nd place. Also on the boys' side today, well, largely the boys' side. We'll get to that in a second. Porta wins the Porta Invitational. Locally, Pittsfield 4th, Jacksonville Route was 5th, and Rushville Industry was 8th. I want to talk about individuals, though. 3rd place thanks to a playoff today. Peter Greening of Pittsfield with a 78. I mentioned it wasn't all boys. Lauren Fry from Winchester, way to go, Lauren. She finishes in 4th place individually, firing an 80 today. Also in 6th place, Hayden Cumley of Route with an 81. Raleigh Filbert of Pittsfield finished 8th with an 82, tied with his teammate Jonah Molesky, who finished 10th. After a scorecard playoff, also with an 82 on the day. Also need to mention, in tennis today, Nikita Berger playing solo. She's the only tennis player in her school. From Mendity Unity, she finishes very nicely today with a 2nd place finish at #1 singles in the Maroon Invitational. Our congratulations to her on another strong showing at the Class A level. High school football today. 8-8 score in Triopia at Don Kemp Field at the half. Second half, 3rd and inches. Great stuff here by Griffin Green to force the punt. Next Panther possession. First down play action, picked off right here by that guy, Tristan Wise. You know, somebody should have given this. He hit the boundary, in fact, and should have probably got the pick 6. Ended up at the 1-yard line, but that would set up Matt Parker to stake the Trojans to their first lead of the game. 2-point conversion fails, 14-8 Trojans at that point. Panthers try to answer through the air. Eli Kearns, fantastic catch to get his team into the red zone. But again, facing 4th and 3 in the red zone. And again, it's Griffin Green with a key stop to turn the ball back over on downs for the 2nd time in the 3rd quarter. And that is when the Triopia offense would rumble back to life behind the big rumbler. Dean Arndt doing work on the interior. He's nationally ranked in some services as one of the top recruitable fullbacks in the country. I think according to Tom Lemming was the last one I saw. How about Tristan Wise finishing up the drive, though, right there, 20-8. That, my friends, would make it, and the 2-point conversion is good as Ike Wearies would hook up with Matt Parker to make it 22-8 with 5 minutes remaining. Looked like an insurmountable lead. Leroy had other ideas. 2 touchdowns in 5 minutes to force overtime. Touchdown and a 2-point conversion, unmatched by Triopia in the overtime, and Triopia goes down to a crushing defeat today. This one hurts. Final count in this one was 30-28 in overtime in favor of Leroy, a team that was down, again, with 5 minutes to play by 2 touchdowns. We promised you last night Jacksonville Rod highlights from Unity Payson. Didn't get a chance to show them to you because of computer problems. We show you Joe Nix now. What a night for that young man. Team high 5 tackles, 2 for loss, an interception, 15 carries, 130 yards, and that the 3rd of his 3 touchdowns. Also, Adam Howard on the inside reverse here had a 21-yard touchdown as the Route Rockets pull it off, get their first win of the season, and look really good doing it, blowing out Unity Payson on the road. Big-time win for those guys. Congratulations to Heath, Wilson, and company on the big-time victory last night. Now, it was a crazy week yet again of high school football, and another week with incredible shuffling in our KHQA power poll. It's just been that kind of season. In fact, South Shelby, which was number 3 last week, suffers a precipitous drop all the way down to number 9 thanks to the loss to Macon. Tell you what, give Pete Class and his crew a lot of credit. Going on the road, winning against a red-hot South Shelby team. Obviously, got some great plays, which we'll show you in just a bit, but great win for the Macon Tigers. Central Lee improved to 4-1 last night, pitching a shutout last night against Louisa Muscatine. That's a team we need to talk a little bit more about. That defense really going right now. A couple of freshmen at linebacker really playing well. Central Lee cracks the top 8 for the first time this season. We've also got Illini West moving on up after improving to 3-2 on the season. Bounce back win big time over Macomb. And then you get to kind of that next level. Bowling Green has been elite on the offensive side of the football and pitched another shutout in beating Van Far 56-0 last night. Van Far was 3-2 on the season coming in, so I know Van Far's kind of played a little bit of a weaker schedule. That's still a quality win. Quincy Notre Dame, Quincy High School 4-3 after big time victories yet again. Q&D going on the road, beating West Hancock. Quincy High School with a huge win. One of those statement-type games against Alleman, 9-7. The defense is really good right now for the Blue Devils. That crew, fantastic. And number 1 and number 2, those are the only spots that really seemingly haven't changed the last couple of weeks. Hannibal still number 2. Shamar Griffith, I think, just scored as I spoke again at Fulton. Had 5 touchdowns last night. And Camp Point Central, the outlier, the only undefeated team left in our area, still number 1 atop our power poll. And when we come back, we've got winners to announce from our first Con Communication contest of the year, plus a Con Communication connection for your consideration for next month, which may be one of the best ever. Coming up next, right here on Overtime. Straight out to the graphic, please. Thank you, sir. Good show. And we have now closed the book on the first half of the fall sports season, and we've got our first Con Communications Connection winners to celebrate. By a margin of 53 votes, very close this week, Macomb Football's Jacob Poor and Corby Foxhall take top honors for their high degree of difficulty third down conversion in the season opener at Bartonville Limestone. North Shelby's Dylan Metis and Jacob Rich came in second, by the way. And for taking part in our voting process, Mr. Richard Stroon wins an American Express gift card courtesy of Con Communications. Your next chance to vote will come the last week of October, and this will be the first for your consideration, and I'm still marveling at this highlight last night. Macon's immaculate reception type action in taking on a really good South Shelby squad. Originally, Nolan Bright, I think, intended this for Kristen Thrasher. The ball pops loose from him, and it hangs there and hovers, and check out what Jace Glover did. Into the end zone for the score. Basically, that gave Macon plenty of momentum and a 14-7 lead going into the half. That, my friends, is your first highlight for consideration. It's going to be real tough to top, I can guarantee you. Some scores locally on the college docket today. Culver Stockton men's soccer erupts and destroys Grace University 9-0 in that ball game. News not as good for the HLG women. They lose a 1-0 match against Lyon, despite outshooting Lyon 25-9 on the day. Some